wonder if you'd like it if I parted my hair. Ah, hello. I didn't hear you approaching. Please forgive my rudeness. Please, there's no need for you to apologize as well. Thank you for taking the time to humor my request and meeting with me today. I know there was no need to meet before our wedding day, but I figured it would be best if we got to know each other a little before the wedding. It would not bode well for our marriage if I were to say or do something that would offend you or your family. I wish for us to have a happy, fruitful marriage, and I want to make sure I put every effort to make that a reality. It's the least I can do for you. I do owe you. You likely don't remember, given we were so young, but the incident likely didn't have a great impact on you as it did to me. When we were little, you saved me. Yes, if you hadn't appeared like you did, I would have been seriously injured. It's alright. Like I said, I didn't think you'll remember. If you continue to be the kind person you were back then, and I can see that, yes, you still are. You likely just viewed the accident as one more act of kindness among an ocean of good favors. Though, if you would like to remember, I can always show you where it happened. That might jog your memory. Well, I could always jog your memory, yes, but a selfish part of me is hoping you remember on your own. It would feel special if you did. Would you be willing to play along with me? Indulge in your fiance's silly games? Thank you. Oh no, you don't have a hail taxi. It's barely a few minutes walk from here. Is that alright? Thank you. Please, follow me. We're not locals these days. However, my mother, father, brother, and I used to live in this village. My father was the second son born to the main branch of our clan, so there was no reason for him to stay in the main house. After he and my mother were wed, they decided to move here, as it was an in-between point between two of my great-grandfathers, now my father's, loan offices. Partially a business decision, yes. I can tell you, but I can tell you're under the presumption it'll be kept a secret between future spouses. Have a secret, if you will. My father is an illegitimate son. My great-grandfather gave my grandmother some money to support her and my infertile father, on the proviso that she move as far away as possible so my grandfather, my father's father, would have no issues with his marriage. And they chose the town next to this one. I've realized how darkly ironic this is, talking about my grandfather's misdeeds with my own future spouse. You aren't hiding a secret mistress and child, are you? Good. I'd rather not experience the sins of the past. That would make things awkward. As I said, my father's wed. My grandmother passed soon after, and so he chose to move to his town with his wife, to be part of her family and support my maternal grandparents, and then came along my brother and I. The business decision part was so he could be on my great-grandfather's radar. Though he was a man of great health, it appeared that my grandfather and my half-uncle, the heir to the clan, were not so fortunate. A few years ago, they were both struck by the same illness. Fortunately, not even the doctors could deduce what it was, and the souls passed to the next life in a matter of days. Please do not be too alarmed. No one else in our family has experienced such thing. No such issues will occur with me and any children we have. Because of their passings, my father's work to keep himself known to our clan. My great-grandfather contacted him, and soon my father was made heir. And now my great-grandfather's passing last year. May his soul rest in peace in the eternal paradise. My father is now head of the clan, the estranged second son, that none of the older staff are allowed to mention, didn't seem to be born after the original clan heir. It's a little silly, but the story keeps the matter simple. That's why we had to move. My father couldn't be head of the clan when we were so far away. So once my great-grandfather contacted him, we packed up and we were on the move basically overnight. And that was 2 weeks after you saved me. My body became ill after the incident, and we thought I'd finally recover enough to leave the hospital and seek you out to thank you. We were summoned. Forgive me if this sounds a bit too much, but I haven't been able to get you out of my mind since that day. That's why when my father gave me a list of prospective partners, I was practically jumping with joy when I saw your name among them. Would it alarm you to know that I had them... Would it alarm you to know I had him send out an offer of marriage within the hour? I'm glad you find it sweet. Being engaged to my childhood savior and knowing you're happy as well makes all the wait to see you again worth it. Here we are. Yes, this is where you saved me. Here on the edge of town, right by the woods. Is it coming back to you yet? No? That's a shame. Since this isn't enough to jog your memory, I'll explain it for you. My apologies for making you wait this long. Back then, there were a group of kids who always liked to torment me. They used to chase me around, yelling and screaming at me, trying to grab at my ears and yank me this way and that. Thinking back, it was simply cruel. The kind children can't help at that age, where it's more bothersome than painful. But that didn't mean it didn't hurt my feelings. Not they would have been able to realize that. Bearing one amongst the kids, one girl, who would always take things too far, yank too hard, scream too loud. She got a hold of the match one time and tried to set me alight. It was horrible. To this day, even if she was young, I know I will never forgive her. The day you saved me, she was chasing me with a stick, like that large one over there, long and thick. It meant even as I ran, she was be able to hit me hard. Fortunately, just as I was about to collapse from pain, you appeared. It was so heroic. The sun was hitting you in the way that made you shine like an angel, and your voice was so firm and powerful. I couldn't even think to take advantage of your appearance and run away. It was love at first sight. If love at first sight is real, I'm sure that moment was it. Truly, thank you for your kindness. Please don't apologize. You weren't the one who harmed me. Life was hard for me until then, but until you appeared, every moment has been filled with joy, knowing that I exist in the same world as you. And the way you scolded her, it brings a smile to my face. The annoyed expression she wore when she realized you had to stop her fun, it makes me laugh remembering it. My apologies if that sounds a little sadistic. I can't help it. As I said, I truly loathe her. And every time I look in the mirror, I can't help but be satisfied with how much I know she's suffering inside. Though you were ultimately the one to stop her, doesn't mean I didn't try to defend myself. Before the chase started, I bit her, and she had already yanked my fur, and I frankly had enough. And that was what compelled her to pick up the stick and hurt me. So initially, I thought I made a terrible mistake. However, with my saliva and her blood, It provided the perfect point of entry to suppress her spirit and claim her body as my own. Now I have a human body to wed you with. Yes, surely you must remember now. I suppose the confusion must come from thinking this face was the one by the victim, when in reality it was the face of an aggressor. You saved me from the true owner of this body, remember? You saved me when I was still a fox. Yes, a fox, not a common one. The blood in my veins is directly tied with Yandere, the god of foxes, which is why I was able to achieve such a feat, despite not being a kitsune. I know this is likely a surprise, but you took the secret of my family's host family so well that I thought you would be able to accept the secret too. Is it too much? The girl's spirit? I suppose by now it would be more a woman's spirit. Not that that's relevant. She isn't dead. In order to kill a spirit, I would have to kill a body, and if I kill a body, I would not have a suitable host to marry you in. When I told you I suppressed her spirit, I meant it literally. The spirit of one directly descended from the gods. An average human spirit has no choice but to cower before it. I used that natural fear to push her spirit into the evident corner inside her body and placed my own spirit in its place. She isn't dead, and she is very much conscious. The spirits can't talk. Hers fluctuates from time to time, as she observes me living. So I've come to know what kind of person she is quite well. I even let her spirit surface from time to time when we're alone. The last time I let her surface in front of her, she tried to tell someone and caused quite a messy situation. Considering what she did to me, I think it's quite generous, no? I'm not surprised. Someone as noble as you would consider it an injustice. However, to a person like her, I promise it's a better life than she deserves. Would you like to meet her and see for yourself? Of course, I've already revealed the truth to you. I see no point in hiding anything else. I'll let her out and you can judge for yourself whether or not what I'm doing is too much. I should warn you. Probably won't be for long. She's an incredibly unpleasant person, so I'll have to switch back the moment she inevitably gets too far. Which won't take too long at all. I'll see you in a moment. What the hell are you doing? Playing house with a fox? I can see in your face, considering that's so fucked up. Whatever that fox is, you can't trust it. Can't you see? It killed my... Please don't worry about me. When I switch back so suddenly, it means there's a brief moment when the body has no spirit guiding it, causing it to collapse just like now. It wasn't much of a fall, so my legs and knees are fine. My only concern is the state of my clothes. I hope my appearance doesn't ruin your perception of me. What she was going to say is... She was going to accuse me of killing her relatives. I can understand that my being a fox possessing a human would make you worry that I have the power, but I can assure you, I don't. Furthermore, though it is certainly nice to have a host body that belongs to a prestigious and well-off family, my only reason for taking control of her body was to unite with you. Even if I could do such a thing, there was no reason for me to. Also, her calling me a fox and it. Ignore her choice of words. I'm far more than that. Technically, I'm far more than even human, so don't worry about her implications. And I will certainly be the perfect wife for you. I will cook all your favorite meals, fresh every day, ensure our home is spotless and at every moment, and bless our union with as many children as you desire, regardless of biology, age, or other factors. I can make your desires become true as his fox spirit. As always, my thanks for your kindness. I am truly in debt to you. I intend to pay off my debt for as long as I can. Though, if you could be more faithful to me through it all, I would appreciate that. Not that I think you'd be the kind to betray one in the first place. I swear to you, you will never find a better wife than I. So what flowers would you like at our wedding?